Hey, it's Brandon again from Rooted in Wellness. Today to talk about literally where the rubber meets the road. So this is the one video I'm going to record that I hope my wife never sees, because I'm sure she'll use it as an excuse to go buy new shoes. So our shoes for our body are just like the tires for our car. We don't think about them a whole lot, but it's the only place where our body interacts with the ground beneath us. The time to replace shoes is not when they start to look bad on the top, because these you might look at and say look okay, but when the inside and the bottom sole start to wear. I'm going to take a look at these in more detail in just a minute. Hopefully you don't have your favorite pair of shoes that look like these. I don't know how well it's going to show up on camera, but these things are shot. And I'll tell you, in a previous life, these were my uniform shoes that I wore for many years, long after I should have traded them out. You can see that there's absolutely no tread left on the bottom. The inside is just as worn and shot, so I was creating an impact essentially with no padding at all on a hard concrete floor. So now we're going to take a look at a pair of my old shoes. These were ones that I have about 500 miles on, which is about as much as you want to get on a single pair. And these, I was actually working through an injury, so it's a really good example of what you can look for and exactly why you need to replace your shoes on a regular basis. Before we get into that, if you haven't had your stride analyzed, head to a reputable shoe store and have your stride analyzed. Typically that involves running on a treadmill for 30 to 40 seconds, having it videotaped. These are a trail shoe, so they have a little bit more aggressive tread pattern than what I usually wear, but it also is a great way to see the impact of how I strike, and in this case, the injury that I was overcoming and how that impacted the shoe wear. You can see here on the left foot, pretty even tread wear all the way across. On the right foot, which is where my issue was, see if I can get that in the light where you can see, got some pretty good tread left here, and then we look over here to the outside, and all that is almost smooth. So I was undersupinating considerably. Was dealing with some Achilles tendonitis at the time, which was causing me to invert my foot. Now, if you look back here, I am a 4-foot striker. Many people, especially with distance, are a heel striker. And you want to look at the tread wear patterns, because some people will come across from the outside of the heel to the inside of the tread pattern. Some people will come all the way across on the outside, or what is very common in long distance runner is called overpronation, or running all the way on the inside of the foot. So why are shoes important again? They are the only barrier between your foot and the impact surface. So if you've got worn out soles, worn out insoles, and worn out interiors, you're having more impact for every stride and every strike. This is not advice just for runners. Think about, again, my previous life, I worked on a concrete floor all day, every day. So each time I hit the floor with those old shoes that I showed you, there was no padding, there was no impact absorption. And it was no wonder at the end of an 8-hour shift that my feet were, and my knees and my hips were all sore and hurting. Unfortunately, I didn't come across the importance of shoes until later in life.